Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Tough Questions, continuing our Katamari playthrough.
We're gonna use a sprinkler, baby!
Yeah, we went ahead and just finished that other level because we played it twice and y'all don't want to see that again.
Well, technically I failed the second time.
You
So
failed
I had to go
so I mean,
do
you
it a third time.
failed it twice, so we didn't want to watch that again.
So apparently I have to use a sprinkler. I'm assuming my Katamari will, like, shoot water. And then that's how we serve the masses with hydration.
We trying to hydrate the masses?
Yeah, well, I'm assuming we're going to a desert. That's what it says.
Oh, snap.
It said parched planet. You would have gotten double points on categories for that.
Parched planets.
But you can't use, like, descriptors, I think.
Yeah, of course you can.
Well, am I going to have to come back to the water? Oh, it's going to explain to me.
Yeah, just pay attention.
As you roll.
Calm down.
Okay. Grass will grow.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Plants. Okay.
Yeah, sounds interesting.
Ooh, we can use them as steps if you run out of water. Oh my gosh.
Roll here to fill up.
All right, baby.
Here, soak it up.
Well, here we go. We're gonna be going back and forth in between the water. Go, 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 go.
I want to see the plants spring up. Look. Oh my
Whoa.
God, they started quick and they're big and
I
flowery.
Oh man.
Wait, so you're
This
not?
is neat.
Yeah, it's like an opposite Katamari.
It's instead of rolling stuff up.
Yeah, instead of
I'm
capturing,
putting stuff.
instead of capturing things, you're leaving things.
Man. Oh, and
It's
it
like
even says how much water I have.
Your water's probably running out.
I've got 30% water.
Yeah, because you're not making as many flowers as you were before.
I'm just
Oh,
gonna
there they
go
are.
as far as I can forward in a straight line and then turn around right back to the water. Woo!
You need water.
Oh no!
You can't water anything without water. With a dry Katamari. Soak it up, sponge.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, so I got a question for you. We're going to be talking a little bit about relationships today.
Right.
And I thought of like a weird question the other day, just something to kind of think about. Hypothetical question.
Okay.
If you could only be in 1 year relationships with somebody,
Oh God.
Would you
this is
would
already
you-
getting deep.
would you still pursue relationships with people?
If they were
Like
only,
not friends, like romantic relationships?
Yeah, romantic relationships.
1
right.
year, like
Tops.
max and minimum.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Really?
Like if you went on a date with somebody, you had to date them for the next year.
Wait. So are we saying that? Oh, okay. Wait. Minimum or like that's it?
Minimum and maximum, 1 year.
1 year. Oh man.
You can never be in a long-term relationship, and you can never be in a one-night stand.
I mean,
It's kind of weird, though, right?
it is weird. I think.
Because I feel like I had to put that caveat on there because, like, a lot of people just like sleeping around. They're like, well, yeah, I don't give a shit. That's fine.
But you can't because.
But you can't. You have to, like, be with that person for a year. If you want to get it from them, then you're going to have to give something back. But it's only for a year. So, like, those people who love long-term relationships, they're going to be, like, heartbroken constantly.
Oh,
But is
man.
it where they say it's better to love and lost than to never love at all?
I mean,
This is putting that to the test.
and we're talking like marriage is not a thing. Like
It doesn't matter. You can get married to somebody if you want, but you ain't going to be married to him for a year.
God.
It's kind of a crazy question, right?
Yes. Yes,
Of course,
I
you
still
probably would. Biologically, you would.
Biologically, yes. But I mean, like, I've never, like,
You would think real hard about it, though.
right? No, well, the
You
thing
wouldn't
that
be
comes into
picking
my
up
brain-
chicks from the bar. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, that's like 50% of my time. No, it's not.
Oh.
The one thing that I think of is like how good or how much fun I had in my relationships in the past, even though they were short term. Like sometimes like those were like the greatest moments of my memories, you know? So I don't know. I don't think I would ever want to not have those.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Well,
know?
yeah.
Like,
The thing is, though, like, you might fall madly in love with somebody and then not be able to be with them anymore.
I know.
And you would know that that's going to happen.
Well, that's the thing that's driving me
In
crazy.
real life, you know that might happen, and you hope it doesn't. But in this particular case, you know for sure it's going to happen. So would you
Right.
still pursue those, knowing that heartache is at the end of it?
I mean, yeah, I would, man. I would. Because, I mean, there's just so much that comes from being cared about by somebody else.
Yeah,
you know,
for
that
sure.
someone that just gives a shit about you. You know, like listening to you. Man, like I was watching recently. I didn't know the what's it
Ooh,
called?
got a present.
The Give a Free Hug, the Free Hug Project or something like that. Man, like, do you know
Hugs are free, bro. I got news for you.
Well, yeah, well, the next time I've had a long day of counseling or something like that, I'm going to come home and ask you to hug me.
Hey, just because it's free doesn't mean I'm going to give you
Yeah,
one.
exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just, man, like, having somebody just hug you and just, like, be like, I'm sorry you had a long day. Like, that's just, even though you're going to lose that person, I feel like that's just, it's just something that you could never.
It's brutal.
Yeah, man. Like, you would never want to replace that.
Yeah, personally, I probably just still consider the same way I consider relationships now that, you know, play it by ear. If I meet somebody that I think I like, yeah, I guess I would probably still try and do it. But I'm not going to just go on dates with random people. Tinder would not be a thing anymore.
Right.
It would be year-long Tinder.
Oh, jeez. What is going on?
Long-term Tinder. You need water. You can't water shit.
I don't think I'm going to make it. I can't make the water. No.
Go. Try.
I'm trying.
Go.
Oh,
try.
it's over this way. Spend a bear. God.
Just keep going.
What is going on?
Keep going. Yeah.
It's just awful. What's going on? There's an ape now. Is that Harambe?
Oh, Harambe. Balls out for Harambe.
I still don't understand it.
Balls out. Katamari balls. I'm smart.
Now I feel like an idiot. Well, yeah. Did you answer?
Yeah.
I'm making sure that you
listen to me.
I
You
always
didn't listen to me.
I always listen to you.
I was just saying, yeah, I would just probably just keep an open mind.
Oh, I think I did it. So, well, today, since we're in the realm of relationships, we're going to talk about the Four Horsemen.
Oh, yeah, we go into a real depressing relationship topic.
Shit,
the things that ruin relationships.
Right.
But I suppose at the same time, they're things to consider so you don't ruin your relationship.
Well, we'll talk about how to save your relationship and such eventually. But
I won't. What do I know about that?
Jared will. Jared will talk about saving your relationship. I don't know you. I don't know your specifics or your ness of your relationship. But Gottman is the guy. Gottman is the dude. He's the shit, man. Like, when it comes to relationships, there's numerous aspects where he can sit down and just watch a couple interact for 15 minutes, and he can, you know, with like a 95% sureness, like, they will be broken up or they will actually work.
Well, yeah, we were talking about that once before, and I'm like, that's pretty, I mean, that should be obvious stuff for most people. Like, that people, either they don't get along or they do, you know?
Right.
That stuff, like to brag about that I know that a couple is going to break up or not is not really, it doesn't impress me.
Yeah, but when you've done it for so long and people come to you for couples counseling, that's a very useful skill, you know, when you can sit down and you can actually see whether or not you're going to be able to save a relationship or not.
Sure, but I just think that you could probably do that right now.
What? How so, though?
Well, I mean, like, maybe, like,
in extreme cases,
it takes like some experience to learn how to have them do the things that they need to do. Sure, but to be able to tell whether or not it's gonna work out, that's
just from interacting,
fucking obvious. Yeah.
Well,
because like when people talk to each other, if you don't understand their tones of voice, like, what are you doing being a therapist to begin with? You know what I mean?
It's not even tones; it's how
it is. All that tones and body language are the two most important way people convey convey what they're feeling. You know what I mean? They don't always say what they're gonna mean. If you're only listening to what they're saying, you're never gonna figure anything out. Right. You know what I mean?
But that is true. Roll up a cow or a bear to make a plan.
Get the bear.
Roll up the cows and the bears, like only the cows and the bears. But I disagree because for all you know, you could have somebody come in and sit down with you for 15 minutes, and without the actual skills and the understanding that this gentleman or any sort of relationship counselor, people may completely bullshit their way through those 15 minutes without like the necessary skills or knowledge or education behind it. I feel like that's
listen,
what does it.
Here's the thing. If two people are so in sync that they can both bullshit exactly the same, then what are they even, A, what are they going to therapy for? And B, like, that's ridiculous to me to think that if they have a problem, then how can they be that in sync with each other? You know what I mean? You can tell when two people are bullshitting differently. You know?
Right. But essentially, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm understanding what you're saying. You're saying that you would be able to do exactly what this gentleman is doing.
Like, as far as the identifying problems, yes. Maybe, like, I don't know, understand, like, maybe, and maybe some of the stuff I probably do because I just, I pay attention.
Bear. Oh, I picked up a cow and then a bear. I'm an idiot.
But, like, honestly, like, I'm maybe a little less, like I'm not really maybe as empathetic enough to like help people save relationships because I think sometimes like just get out of it. Like it's a real dick move, but personally that's how I feel sometimes.
Man.
But if people do really want to save a relationship, I think that honestly I do think that I could help them with that. Because I feel like I understand how people work and think. And if I sit down with people for 15 minutes, if they're bullshitting me, that's one thing. But like I said, if they're bullshitting me together and they're that in sync that I can't tell, then they don't really have that much of a problem.
Well, what if there was, let me ask, like the majority of things that come into therapy, what if there was an incongruence to it? You know, like they're not bullshitting you. It's just that they're not aware or they necessarily have tunnel vision.
I think I could figure that out right away.
In 15 minutes?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
In my previous relationships, did you know whether or not they were going to end or not?
100%.
What?
Yeah.
I was with my most previous relationship was 3.5 years.
Like I only knew you in one relationship, so to be fair, and
like
not whether or not like so like more subtly than like obviously I can't tell you like how long something's gonna last or whatever.
Right.
But this is a little bit. I don't know if you want to talk about it. This is your fucking relationship, not mine.
Well, I'm just saying. Well, we're getting into a different aspect while we're watching whatever the hell's going on the screen right now.
Yeah.
But this guy's just been doing it for, you know, like just imagine doing it for like 30 plus years.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, he's got credibility. I'm not saying that.
Right. But anywho, back to what we were talking about.
Oh, this is what we're talking about.
So Gottman has he has two things. First of all, he created the Four Horsemen. Dude, I'm so over whatever the hell this is.
Serious, what is going on with these cows and bears?
I apparently only have to get one cow or bear as long as it's big. So that's what we're going to try and do again for this one. But he created the Four Horsemen of... Oh, look, there's another one. Can I just not... Constellation-related things to Milky Way. Sure, I like this way better than trying to avoid stuff and concentrate on the video game. That sounds great.
Yeah.
So Four Horsemen of failing relationships. And then also the his 5-to-1 ratio. 5-to-1 we'll talk about another time. But I thought today we'd talk about Four Horsemen and kind of those... 4 things and what they look like so that way you can see them in your own life. Yep. Maybe. Hopefully. First one. Criticisms over complaints.
So like complaining and then complaining about complaining.
Yeah, complaining about complaining.
I mean that like breeds contempt. So.
Oh man. And that's actually the next one. That's actually the contempt is the second one.
When that's
and
there,
the worst.
It's almost gone. It's gone because you can't really like that is almost like a way that your mind has changed.
Right.
That's gonna be hard to change back.
Right. And
you have to be in a relationship with somebody for a long time with a deep like past in order to get over contempt. You know what I mean?
Right. And contempt, like I want to be very specific here. This is something, an instance or anything that has happened in the past that you cannot let go of.
Yeah.
Your significant other.
It doesn't even have to be necessarily serious. It could be like a quirk that you just start hating, and then you will never be able to not hate that anymore.
Oh,
you know what I mean? And it's in there deep.
Oh yeah.
And it causes contempt, which causes you to not like somebody.
Exactly. I mean, like I don't want to say this specifically, but like, there's a handful of relationships that have come in, and they're essentially like, well, this person slept with someone else. That's a big thing. Is adultery.
That's a big thing.
You know, like. There are some people in this world that will never forgive you for cheating.
Yeah.
And then there are some people...
Like, honestly, what's weirder to me is that there are people who will forgive you for that.
Oh, I mean, we have talked about this. I am a zero tolerance when it comes to being cheated on.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, you should be. People always, like, make excuses for it, like things happen. But guess what? If things happen, then things can happen again.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you're never going to trust them after that.
And I'm a big proprietor of once a cheater, always a cheater. Like, if you cheat once, then there's no real reason or...
See, I don't think that that's like 100% true, but it's like the thing is that there's always that possibility. I do think that people feel remorse and regret, and maybe they will never do it again
when
because
they get
of that.
Caught.
Because no, I mean maybe, but
well, we're not talking about the first time, like
no.
somebody that cheated one time and they were like, "Oh, I
But
definitely."
That's what you're saying. Once a cheater, always a cheater. You're saying once a serial cheater, always a cheater.
That's what I mean.
Duh.
Like, let's say like once you cheat 3 times over
the
course,
that should be no shit. If you continue to do it, that's a pattern.
Then you're forever going to be a cheater, in my opinion.
But a lot of people do think they cheated on me once and they're going to cheat on me again, and maybe they will never do it again because of how they feel about it. Because people do make mistakes. Let's be honest, but. the fact of the matter is that the other person may never be able to let that go because of that contempt.
Right.
And that's, I mean, you have to, you just got to part ways sometimes at that point.
Right. And that's a big one. And that's why I think we're talking about it so much, because the second that you see contempt, like even in conversation, man, like where, you know, certain relationships where, you know, you just see the blood boiling of the other person just from interacting like with your significant other. It's so mind blowing to watch that, and you know, just to see people like literally just staring at their significant other, like somebody that, you know, we're not saying that you don't love the person, like they still love the person and care about it.
What's love got to do with it?
Right. You know, so that's interesting.
You know, they say you can love someone, you don't have to like them.
Yeah.
And if you don't love and like someone, what are you doing with them?
Yeah. So that's the biggest predictor of, I guess it would be more divorce, but separation or just like failing relationships or, you know, problematic relationships. What's number 3? Oh, defensiveness. This is, oh man. So have you ever had a conversation with somebody and they're always like, after you explain your side of, they're like, but.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically just.
But
it's a never ending argument.
Right. You know, it's just, but you did this.
Yeah. Like
back to the contempt thing, like cheating on one person and then if you cheat on that person that cheated on you, that doesn't make it right. No. I'm sorry. Like,
no, yeah. It's not like our relationship is going to be fixed now.
Right.
Because now that other person knows what it feels like. So we're going to be good now.
You know, but that's essentially the defensiveness. It's like, oh, well, you cheat. You know, I may have cheated, but you cheated first.
I mean, that's the thing. Essentially, being defensive is prolonging an argument. It's a never-ending argument, and you can't be in a healthy relationship with anybody, friend or in like romantic relationship, if you're just arguing with them all the time.
Right.
And being defensive is not seeing their point of view and just trying to get your point of view across. And you know, that's what being defensive is.
Right. I mean, and this is not only in romantic relationships. I mean, like if you do this with your friends and such.
That's what I'm saying. People won't want to hang out with you if you're always being defensive.
Right.
If you have something that they actually want to criticize and you don't listen to them and you just defend yourself, then they're never gonna criticize you again, and your friendship's just gonna fall off because now they can't trust you.
Yeah. And don't lose your friends. They're important.
Yeah.
They really are. Oh, this thing is so lopsided.
It's like an oval.
I know. I got to roll it on this side.
You need to go catch that big old like phoenix that was flying around. He's big enough now.
Oh, is he flying?
Oh, you got that stupid thing on there now. Get them bulls.
Oh, I got the bulls.
Yeah, you got to get that phoenix now. You're big enough.
All right.
I don't know where he's going to be, but.
He's probably back over here somewhere. Probably.
He's hovering.
Where?
You got 30 seconds. Go to your right, I think.
Oh, right.
Right.
It's so
Correct.
difficult. Oh, there he is.
There he is. Get him. Jump. Oh, you're just going to grab him.
I got him.
Yes. Victory.
I didn't know how it would work.
I don't know if you win or lose, but you won in my book.
So the last one. Oh my gosh, I'm so giant. Look at this. The last one is stonewalling. And I think that this is probably the most common amongst relationships in my experience and in most of the literature. This is just ignoring
the cold shoulder.
The cold shoulder, baby.
Yeah, again, communication is important in a relationship. Right. So important.
Right. If you're arguing with someone or you're trying to have a constructive conversation with somebody and they just walk out of the room, oh, like, man, that makes my blood boil. Like, I can't stand it.
Yeah. Plus, the only way to get over a problem is to talk about it. So if you're not talking about it, it's always going to be there.
Right. If you're
Problems don't just go away magically.
If you're sitting in the living room and the other person that you're having an argument with is sitting in their bedroom and you're both stewing over it and you're like, I ain't talking to that other person.
Or more importantly, you're like going over this like argument in your head, making it what it maybe even isn't.
Right.
And because you're just not talking about it, it's like it's creating a monster that might not even necessarily be there.
Right. Because then when you actually have that conversation, it's like, I've been arguing with you for 4 hours.
Seriously. And you just come into it like, what happened? We just started arguing. Like, nah, we've been arguing for 4 hours.
Yeah. While you were at work, I've been stewing. But Pluto's not a planet anymore. That's right. It's not.
It'll be in probably a couple years again.
No, Neil deGrasse Tyson made sure that won't happen.
It moves in and out.
Jerk face. Well, all right. Well, like and comment if you enjoy what we're talking about. Do the same thing if you don't enjoy what we're talking about, because we care what y'all think.
Yes, and continue commenting if you want to see us play any particular game or hear us talk about any particular subject.
Come back for more questions.
See ya.
Bye.